Alright, now I'm going to try and fly this FMS MOA glider on this rather windy morning. This is only the second flight with this. I bought this recently on a Labor Day sale. I have to plug in the any link here on the back of my DX9, and then I bought a new battery for him, but nobody seemed to have a 1300 2-cell with a JST connector, which is what he wanted, so I ended up buying one with a Dean's connector, and I'm using an adapter. And there's not much room here, to say the least. Okay, have we got control? No. Why not? Okay, well, that's not getting us anywhere. We don't have control. Why not? Oh. Maybe he's not a fly zone plane, is he? Ha ha! Nitwit. Okay. He's not an any. He's not a fly zone plane. Brain. There we go. The other plane I was flying with him the other day was a fly zone plane. That's why I've got it mixed up in my mind. Because when I made I think the day I maidened him, I also maidened a plane, that little DC fly zone CMS, not CMS, DC-3 C-47. I maidened that the same day, and that is a fly zone plane that needs the any link, but this guy is not. So it's not surprising that he won't work with when I'm trying to use SLT protocol, because he's not SLT protocol. Okay, check all the controls. Okay. Sorry about that. Now we got to change the mode. Oh, blimey. Hard to do. Got to change the mode on this camera and then press the button, and hopefully now it should be recording video. It says it is. Let's have it up a bit more, I think, so it's not pointing right down. I don't know. I want to point it down a little bit, but not too much. I'm trying to see where it's pointing. It tilts up and down a bit, but I don't know. I guess that'll do. It'll have to. Okay. Let's see if we can get anywhere with this guy. Winds up and down, but gusting mostly easterly up to 30 kilometers or so. From what I remember, this guy needs a good bit of oomph to go. Whoa. Well, maybe slightly less so in the wind. I think when I launched him before, my note to myself was that he needed quite a bit of power to launch. Good Lord, he does not like this wind much. Trying to level him out and bring him into the wind. Okay, let's see if we can glide him a bit. He's not a bad glider, although he tends to come down faster than you'd like as a glider. But he's a bit of a pain to control as under power. Oh, he really does come down faster than you want as well. See, the problem is he's losing all his altitude here.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
and the wind is really getting under his wings, which in this case it might be good for Bette Midler, but it's not so good for this guy. And he's not the world's easiest plane to fly by any means under control. Especially not in all this wind. He doesn't like it. No, stalled him there, cut the power and stalled him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, when I made him on a calm day, and even on a calm day, he wasn't the easiest plane to control under power. He needed a fair bit of power to get good control. And then he just comes down so quickly, which is not helpful for a glider. You know, you want a glider, hopefully, to stay up a bit. But this guy is not particularly wild about staying up, so he's just coming down all the time. And he's kind of a pig to get up with this wind, because the wind keeps getting under one wing or the other. I can't really control him well to push him up. It's a struggle. It's a distinct struggle. It's a distinct struggle to control this guy and get him to do anything. It's a kind of a Jekyll and Hyde sort of plane, this, because it's very different as a glider or under power. It's fairly controllable as a glider, but comes down faster than you'd hope. Whoa, see what I mean? He's lost all that altitude already, almost. And under power, it's kind of a bit of a pig to, especially in all this wind. It's just a bit of a pig to control under power. The wind just keeps getting under one wing or the other. And I mean, it's not just, it isn't just because of the wind. I mean, the wind is making it extremely difficult now, but I found even with no wind, as I say, that really he only responded at all well to the controls if you punched the power up considerably. He doesn't respond to the controls under power well, with small amounts of power. And he's not the world's best glider, frankly. I mean, he tends to lurch and lose his altitude rather. Very pretty looking plane, but a bit of a bugger to deal with. I have no idea how much battery we've used here. It calls for a 1300 milliamp hour 2-cell battery, and that's what I bought a new one to put in a new Gen Zeiss, but it's got a Dean's connector on, because that was all they had. Whipping away there downwind. And wind's died down a little bit now, famous last words, and then it gusts up and gets under his wing. Trying to get some bloody altitude here because he comes down so quickly anyway. Yeah, I mean, he's not like he's not like the Conchendo or the Radiant Extra Large, which, you know, they glide nice and slowly. I can keep them up for a long while. This guy is not terribly anxious. I'm sure he's a great real-world glider, but this RC model is not really that keen on behaving well. Come on, come back round. Yeah, not going to do much more because, and I'm hammering him rather, trying to control him in this wind, so. I think we'll think about landing him soon, especially since this is not the world's most productive exercise anyway. Generally speaking, I figure you should be able to fly. Geese should be able to fly a glider in the wind. But this guy's not. One more climb and then we'll bring him in. I'm going to have one more climb. Okay, I'm just going to glide him round and bring him in now. Famous last words. He's got one wheel to help him belly land on the... now he decides he wants to go up. Oop. Depth vision. I wasn't too sure where he was there, but anyway, he's down on the runway. Yeah, that's one problem I often have, I find, is depth vision. I'm not great at judging how far away planes are, so we can sometimes... I landed him pretty near the far side of the runway. Anyway, could be worse, but could be better, I suppose. I mean, you can, just holding him now. I mean, I can feel the wind blowing him around. I'm not surprised, he gets the wind under one wing and he just really wants to tip. And it's pretty windy. It's pretty windy. Very attractive plane. I mean, honestly, that's largely why. But yes, he has these little bubbles on the ends of the wings to protect the ends of the wings on the grass and one wheel underneath. So he's reasonably safe coming down. On grass, I would much rather bring him down on grass. I wouldn't want to bring him down on an asphalt field, actually, because I don't know how well he'd handle that. I think those little things would scrape apart pretty quickly on asphalt. But on grass, they're pretty okay. Now, assuming this is still... Yep, that's still videoing, so now we need to turn it off. Yep. Okay, so there you go. You want to see what the battery's doing. I've got marks there where I want to put the battery to get the center of gravity where I want it to be, which is fairly far forward. Let's just see if I can find my little whatnot, what we got left on this battery. 7.69, 3.85 on a 2-cell per cell. That's almost exactly where I want to be. I mean, you can go a bit lower, but I don't want to go much lower than that. I'm reading 233 there, and I started at 6. So it's only 3.5 minutes of motor time. But there and again, with a glider, well, A, I was punching the motor full throttle a lot, and B, you expect with a glider to have flight time quite a bit longer than motor time because you're gliding a fair bit of the time, but you're still using power, of course, to some degree for the receiver and the servos and everything. Anyway, I'm not sorry I bought this guy. I'm a little disappointed. He's not a super performer. I'm a little bit disappointed he doesn't glide better, but I mean, you see what I mean. He glides, but he descends faster than you would like with a glider. And I've tried in calm weather trimming him as best as I could, but you can't really stop him coming down that fast. He's just going to do it. FMS MOA glider.